That's ironic.
How we spend.
Last year, Black America in 2016, we spent $2 billion on Air Jordans. $4 billion.
$2 billion on Air Jordans. Let's pull up a calculator, folks. Calculator. Right. Let me blow this up for y'all. So there's 47 million people, black people in the United States right now. 1, 2, 3, one more zero. 47 million people, right? And he said we spent $2 billion on Air Jordans. Hundreds, thousands, millions, $2 billion. When you divide that by the population, let's just divide that by half the population. If half the population are males and half the population wanted to spend $2 billion on Air Jordans. Let's divide that by, by 20 million. 20 million black people. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 20. All right, all these zeros. That means right there, that means an average we spend is $100 a year on shoes, on Air Jordans. $100. If you cut that 20 mil down to 10 million, let's say it's just 10 million niggas spending on Jordan. That's $200. That's about the amount of the price of Jordans. That means each nigga spends about $200, buys one pair of Jordans a year. And they're telling you, nigga, look, you out here buying all these Jordans, nigga. Now, maybe that we all seen a few niggas here and there that might have a whole closet full of Jordans. You know what I'm saying? But for every nigga that has a whole closet full of Jordans, there's probably 50 niggas that ain't got not one pair of Jordans whatsoever because they don't even wear them. So, I mean, that $2 billion on Jordans, when you do the math, is nothing that we spend on Jordans. It sounds like a lot. Y'all niggas spent $2 billion on Jordans. Oh, my God. You know, but let this nigga keep talking. Let's go back.
On Air Jordans, $4 billion on liquor and alcohol.
So if it's $4 billion on liquor and alcohol, we just did the math at 20 million people. Let's just keep it at 20 million people. Half the population. That means on average we spend $200 a year on alcohol. I'll spend that on one goddamn meal in alcohol. I'll take a girl out. 5, 6 drinks, 4 drinks later, 2 drinks each in a shot. We damn near almost at the cap. But we don't do this math to see. We really probably, I guess, what are you saying? What are you saying? Something you spend more than that? No, what I'm saying is it don't even look like, it's not even a whole lot in actual numbers. I may spend more on alcohol, going out all the time, hitting up the happy hours and stuff like that. I damn sure spend more than $200 a year. Hit up the liquor store, whatever. But that means that there's a lot of people that don't. Those numbers are actually telling me I'm doing way more. I'm the top of the motherfucking curve. Everybody else is keeping me, you know.
600 million on fast food.
600 million on fast food. You gotta eat. Whatever.
And we bought twice the amount of Mercedes Benzes as white America, although white America has twice the wealth of black folk. So the question,
I would like to see the numbers on that because people just be saying things sometimes. We bought twice the amount of Mercedes Benzes. Like, really? How do you know? And if we did, who cares? It's a vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Because you got that Mercedes, nigga, that's what's dragging you down. Now, don't get me wrong. Some cars can bankrupt some people, you know. If you get a car, it can really hurt you if if the payment is way too high, the interest is too high, the maintenance is too much, whatever the case may be. But a lot of times you can recover from it, even if you have to give up a car. It's a 7, and you repo it. It gets repoed. It's about 7 years before you get back on your feet, and you can still find other ways of getting into other things. But not being, if that's not going to help you build wealth even more. Let's just say you got you a Mercedes Benz with an $800 car payment instead of a Mazda with a $300 car payment. $400-$500 a month ain't gonna build you no wealth. It's like basically what they're saying is, hey nigga, get you a Mazda, buy you some Payless shoes, eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and if you can do these things and you still don't have wealth, well nigga, we gotta figure out what else is your fault. It's gotta be some more fault in there for you. God damn.
Becomes, what is it about the Mercedes Benz that makes it so attractive to African Americans even when they can barely afford it? And it's
because they nice as fuck, okay? I got a Mercedes Benz and I fucking love it, okay? Because they're nice and we like nice shit, you know? And people try to denigrate us and try to put us in a bad category, a bad light, because we like to have nice things. One thing recently here, I was just back home from where I'm from, and I went to go see my grandma, and she had, this time I'm pulling together photo albums, trying to get a lot of information, but I was looking at the photo of her mom and her dad standing in front of a really nice car. I need to figure out what their car was, what type, but two-tone, red and white, ooh. And a black and white photo from the maybe 1930s, 40s. She was born in the 1930s. She was a little girl, so maybe 1940s. And then my papa and his mother. But either way, one, they had a really nice car. Even back then, had a really nice car. And they had really nice outfits on. Real nice, respectable, early 1930s. I may have taken a picture, but I'm not using it. It's on my phone. I didn't transfer it. But either way, when you look at a lot of photos of us back then, we did like to look good. We do like name brand, because typically name brand is typically quality, right? We know that the cheaper shit that you ain't never heard of doesn't mean it ain't good. It just doesn't mean that it ain't. Sometimes it just means it ain't, but there's a lot of times it is not good. There's many a times you bought some stuff cheap and you're like, wow, I don't want to do that again. So not only do we not like it for that reason, but we also like the way it is, the way it looks. I love a Mercedes. Mercedes are my favorite car. I'll own 3 or 4 of them. Hopefully, here in my lifetime.
Because it's a status symbol.
Not because it's a status symbol, nigga. Now, don't get me wrong. When I'm rolling in that bitch, I might be like, "Ooh, yeah, I'm out here on these niggas." But I don't want one. I didn't want one because I wanted to have a status. Oh man, now I got my status good. Nah, nigga. As soon as I seen these cars, every time they come out with a new design, some of us just really love the design. They make some of the most well-designed cars on the planet, as well as Rolls-Royce and Bentley. BMW's cool, and Audi, and certain ones. And so you're gonna shame us for loving the people who make some of the best nice cars? That's why they make them. That's why they make them nice. That's why they pay designers to take their time. That's why they pay top designers, put them on their team to design the most intricate of details, or the most fluid, or lines, or whatever the case may be that they make, in order to attract people who love and appreciate the art of what it takes to make a car, or what it takes to make a product. I hate when people say this, "Oh, you only want a Rolls Royce so you can get bitches." No, I want a Rolls Royce because it's fucking dope. It's the cleanest thing I've ever seen on this planet. Everything in that bitch is real. All the little shiny parts, real metal. All the leather, everything covered leather. Ain't no plastic in this bitch. They got tons of everything, tons of extra piping all on the seats. The ceiling has the stars. It's just so immaculate. None of that has to do with status. None of it has to do with getting women. None of this stuff. But some of these people just are so simple-minded when we say some of this shit. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not oblivious to the idea that, yeah, we also know that we're going to be able to get more females with it, just because we know what females like. We're just obvious to the shit. You know what I'm saying? To what real world, what goes on in the real world. But that doesn't mean that we do these things in order and only to have a status and to get women. People love art. People appreciate a nicely built home. People appreciate a well-built house. People appreciate an amazing-looking yacht. People appreciate a little boat that you can just paddle on to, but people appreciate a yacht and a yacht party. Pouring liquor on bitches, okay?
And one thing we know about oppressed people, when you can enjoy true freedom, you surround yourself with the symbols of that freedom.
How do we know that? How do we know that oppressed people surround themselves with symbols from that? Just because of what we see? Because what I see is still, again, niggas that don't be wearing all this stuff. I can go walk around this place right now, go walk around my downtown area right now. At nighttime, during club hours, yeah, you might see some niggas out there freshed up. But again, keep looking. Go look in a line, your average club line. You got niggas that can't get in half the time at the club because of what they got on. Most of them are not really club attire already. And we see this all the time. Niggas got to go throw dress codes up and enforce it all the time. And you telling me that you see niggas dripping in the most Gucci of Gucci? Come on, dude. Niggas is walking in all the time with football jerseys and fucking jeans and Chucks. Come on, dude. And none of that outfit costs you nothing.
And that's why the Louis bag is so important. That's why our children will kill for Air Jordans. It's not the sneaker. It's what it represents.
Right.
And
it's not the sneaker. It's what it represents. No, nigga. No. What it is, had to come back to me for a second, is a nigga see somebody, come on, be real, a nigga see somebody walking down the street in some Jordans, and he's a what do they call him? Stick-up kid. You don't really hear that note too much more, but he's a person that likes to rob people. You know, he's one of them people that, some of the easiest things to rob people of are things that you can see that are worth money. And what do you see that's worth money? People's jewelry, people's shoes. Those are $250 shoes that people will pay $250 for if they can get them shoes off of them. They don't see. What do you say that they see?
This is my flood salvage.
That's ironic. That means I can only add value to what it represents. Right. And if I believe I will kill for Air Jordans, it's not the sneaker. It's what it represents. Right. And if I believe I'm worthless, that means I can only add value to myself by what I put on my body as opposed.
People ain't jacking people for them Jordans to wear them. They jack them so they can sell them and make $200 and go pay for something. Because they don't like that nigga walking down the street in some Jordans. It's the same reason why people jack your car. It's something they can see. Oh, that nigga rolling in a Mercedes now? Okay, I got that. That ain't really how they always do, but that's how they do. It's not this whole intricate fucking, oh, I was oppressed and so I got to go get my status up by getting, I'm going to jack this nigga for his Jordans and I'm going to walk around in the Jordans that I jacked him for the status and to raise my, some of these, you know, and it ain't like, I don't, I don't like Dr. Umar all the way, to be honest with you. Like, he can say some stuff sometimes that's kind of cool, and then other times it's just kind of like, come on, dude. Like, okay. That's the end of that. So